So this area down here is the area that I'm essentially going to longer term sort of make into an orchard, small orchard, nothing big. But as you see, we walk around here, it's just mostly just a bunch of junky stuff. So there's some bigger trees over there. Want to keep those. Going to keep these black walnuts, but knock down a bunch of this other stuff. Well, hello and welcome back to Golden or Woodland Farm. I'm Keith. It is Thursday evening, August 25th, and we're here working in the orchard. Jake's been here with the Kubota SVL75 for a couple hours, we're trying to really kind of get this smoothed out a little bit better. So we really got all of the stumps pulled out a month or so ago, probably at least a month or so ago, and we've been busy working on other things. So he came in earlier and kind of smoothed this out a little bit more, and then we had this big pile of topsoil over there, so he's been trying to bring that back over this way, spread it back out over this part of the orchard. Couple holes, we got a big drop off there, just working to, like I said, working to smooth out and respread this topsoil more evenly over this area that's going to be the orchard and then also a future vegetable garden. So that's what we've been working on today. We've been battling this Japanese Stilt Grass too. One of the things that we have here is as soon as you clear off some of this soil, this stilt grass, that's what this is, this Japanese stilt grass just takes over. Really hard. It's been maybe 3 or 4 years we've had this as a problem. It's a really serious invasive plant, and the animals don't eat it, and it grows so thick that it chokes out really the desirable plants that you have. So one of the things that we're going to try to do here is once we get this dressed up again, we're probably going to try to plant maybe some buckwheat as a cover crop. The stilt grass is about done with its growing season, and so we're hoping that we can maybe get some, like I said, some buckwheat and then maybe some clover in here to get established before the stilt grass comes back again next spring. Had pretty good luck with the clover on the sand mound. Planted the clover in the winter, and it seemed to get pretty well established before the stilt grass kind of got a chance to grab a hold, and then it's held its own. The stilt grass is still there, but it's hasn't been nearly as thick as it has in some of these other areas. Look at that topsoil, man, that is great. This is one of my persimmons that I planted last year. It's doing really well. Just a bare root stick. This is another one not doing nearly so well. It's kind of tucked back here in the trees, so I think we might want to end up moving it out a bit. Another one down here, same deal. It's further back in the trees. It's still alive, but obviously not doing nearly as well as the one out in the open, or the couple out in the open. Look at this topsoil, man. That's going to be fantastic to grow in. Yeah, here's another one of these persimmons. So really happy with how a couple of these are doing great. Like I said, I just planted that last year. August 30th, I'm out here in the orchard, future orchard, actually current orchard. So persimmons, I planted persimmons last year. Some of them are really doing well. So this was just a small bare root stick last year. So it's actually doing quite well. It's as tall as I am. Jake worked out here last week with the Kubota SVL75, and really got this cleaned up pretty good. So tried to plant some stuff here before the stilt grass can really take hold. So this Japanese stilt grass will grow very quickly as soon as you disturb the surface if you don't get something else in here. So we planted 10 pounds of clover seed, mixed clover, white clover and red clover last Saturday, and I'm planting buckwheat now. So here's the buckwheat outside Pride. Couldn't find any place locally that had any in stock, so we ordered this from Amazon. Ordered 50 pounds. Probably not going to need all of that, but here's the buckwheat seed, and just broadcasting it out on the surface of this exposed topsoil. We had lots and lots of rain over the last couple days, probably a couple inches, but the next few days look, really almost the next week, look pretty dry. So trying to get that in here so that it can get a decent start before this stilt grass really takes off. I think the stilt grass is getting close to the end of its growing season. So I'm hoping that the clover and the buckwheat, the buckwheat will grow. It germinates pretty quickly and will be a good cover crop, but then when it frosts, that will kill the buckwheat. It's an annual, so that'll kill the buckwheat, and then I can mow it down and it'll add organic matter to the soil. And then hopefully while that gets going, then the clover can grow up underneath it, and then the clover will grow really all through the fall and winter, after it frosts. And so hopefully, like I said, the buckwheat will get established real quick, provide cover for the clover, and then the buckwheat will die back as soon as it frosts, and then the clover will keep growing through the winter, and hopefully be well established before next spring when the stilt grass would come in to take off. Had pretty good luck with this type of a planting as far as the clover in the fall and winter. The stilt grass really doesn't get started until pretty late, like in May, and hopefully by then the clover has got itself established and can hold its own against the stilt grass.